Hello everyone, SoariN here. Welcome back to another analysis video? I don't know, I've started doing these things now. I did the video about Sonic.exe and the weird rabbit holes that they seem to create. But now we will be talking about something else. This is a web series called Local 58. Local 58 TV, Local 58 TV Community Television. What this is, it's supposed to be a kind of augmented reality TV show. And there's some sort of narrative behind it, but there is a collection of videos that are supposed to be a little bit spooky. They've gained a lot of attention recently, especially since Game Theory. Try not to say anything bad about Game Theory. He did a video on it, which was cool. But anyway, he kind of confirmed the fact that this was about alien transmissions. Before I say anything about this, and before I look at these and tell you my thoughts on them, please go and watch these for yourself, because this is my judgment, not yours. You need to watch them and kind of get a grip on the aesthetic, because as much as I'm about to rip into these videos, the aesthetic is incredibly well put together, and all of these videos are just real high quality. I want to get into the meat of today's topic, because I want to talk about the problems I have with these videos, because, you know, everybody seems to love them. Oh, it's a wonderful series. It is a wonderful series, but there are flaws that people don't seem to talk about, and this is what I want to talk about today. And it all begins with the first one down here, Local 58. You are on the fastest available route. So this is fastest available route. I'll give you a brief clip of what this is, and it cuts to this, which is a dash cam, and there is the sat nav in the background. So it basically goes along. The guy goes along, and he starts to be taken by the sat-nav to more bizarre places, such as random beaten paths that nobody would really find him. So here you can see the sat-nav takes him. Follow signs for do not enter. So it's going into an area, a kind of abandoned area, a little part in the woods, it's all spooky. And eventually he stops the car. The sat-nav tells him to turn off his headlights. He stops the car, turns off the headlights. Then you hear the noise, and then it's off again. So this is what this is about. It's about an alien encounter. It's very obviously alien, or some form of, if you can see here, I think you can see a little clip of it. There it is. It's really poor. There we go. So this was the first piece of evidence that this was indeed an alien encounter. Anyway, here are my problems with this one episode, because if you look at all of the other episodes, this is the one episode that you wouldn't really expect to find on a TV channel. Why would there suddenly be information about midnight movies, paid programming, all these other videos that are all about, I don't know, documentaries, cartoons, weather services, and then it goes to a dash cam? Why? It doesn't seem like something that would be on a TV channel. Anyway, the next issue I have with this is it uses this glitch effect to just cut away, and you know, it's fine every now and then, but it's a lot of the whole thing. And it goes straight to the next scene, and it goes on and on and on, and there's more glitching down here. It seems slightly lazy, but I can see why they did it. Now, see, here's the problem with this scene here. As creepy as it is, why show the alien? Why? They never do it in the rest of the series, with the exception of, I suppose, sky watching, which we'll get onto later, but why show the alien? I get that it's low quality and you can't really see what it is, but the whole theme around this channel is to keep this sense of mystery and foreboding. So why in the very first episode would you reveal the villain? The web series, I've always thought, are supposed to be theorized and pondered upon, and just think, this is so weird, why is this happening? But here it's clear. Alien, or I don't know, some sort of omnipotent breed of creature that we've never seen before, which is by definition alien. Now, Game Theory pointed out that the reason aliens were here and were corrupting broadcasts was to try and indoctrinate the whole world and kind of manipulate them to do what they want them to do. So why would this alien go after one person in a car? I can only assume it's one person. We never hear or see anybody, but the only reason I can see why this would have been created, in the sense of the narrative, why the aliens would be showing this, is maybe they took this dashcam footage and broadcasted it onto Local 58, hypothetically, and wanted to show the world and show what their capabilities are. I don't know, it doesn't feel like a good starting episode. This one is called Contingency, and this one is quite good. Aliens hijack Local 58 and show this, and show a contingency message for the United States of America, telling people to basically off themselves. Despite the sacrifices of our citizens and the might of our armed forces, the United States has been forced to surrender to her enemy. So yeah, that's what this is about, and basically the message is, be an American and take America with you by basically killing yourself. And it's very disturbing in a good way. It's disturbing because at the very end here, infants and pets, the smallest patriots, and regarding your children, tend to them before yourself, use a calm tone of voice, everyone can do their part. It is very disturbing and it is very effective. I have one issue, one very small nitpicky issue with this video, and that is, here we go, it is against the law to delay. Why would it be against the law? And if you didn't obey the law, what would you do? I mean, if all the police officers and the people who enforce the laws are going to off themselves, then why is it against the law? And what's the point in laws anyway if it's the apocalypse? Everyone's going to kill themselves. Doesn't seem... I guess it's there as a scare factor for people, but you know what I mean. Very nitpicky reason, but overall, a very good episode. So, Weather Service was the very first one I saw before I even know that Local 58 was a series. I thought it was kind of a mock of just an American emergency system for, I don't know, tornadoes or hurricanes or something like that. This video is quite effective for the Local 58 aesthetic because one thing that people fear is emergency events, worldwide catastrophes, because there's nothing scarier than seeing a tornado warning, a civil danger alert as they're called. I've never had to experience one of those because I live in England and nothing interesting happens here. So the meteorological event itself is basically about the moon and the sky, and that you should not look directly at the sky. It starts to talk about it here. Look at the moon. Do not look at the moon. Stay inside, don't look at the night sky. It is very creepy. I do like the sense of foreboding. Face away from all windows. I do really enjoy this part of the video, and then it kind of starts to go downhill. This bit at the very end here, it's in the light, the moon came in. He found me. White like eyes, not light but blood. I drown in him. Now, I do have a problem with this last section here, because this is about aliens, right? And this is about them trying to get us to look at the moon, because the moon is evil and it's gonna cause much destruction in our society. But this doesn't sound like an alien invasion. This sounds more like, I don't know, it sounds more demonic and kind of cult related, if you know what I mean. And then another thing that's another nitpick of mine, but why is the camera, I'm assuming this is a CCTV camera, why would it be pointing directly at the sky? I guess we'll never know, but it's a nitpick, so I'll move on. Station ID is up next, and it's probably my least favourite out of all of them, because it is basically a trailer. Look away, it does not matter, there are other receivers. Safety in numbers. And that's it. Now, I'm assuming this is some sort of trailer for the first season, or something like that. Again, it is just words on a screen, and I get that it's trying to, there are other receivers, it's trying to push that sense of alien kind of technology from the moon, but we already knew that. Another thing I have to say about it is the glitch effects. They are very overused in this series. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with glitch effects, I use them just as much as the next person, but, you know. Let's have a look at this one, Shay. Cadaver in a grave mistake. Now, I have to say, of all of them, this one definitely seems to have probably some of the most work put into it, because it's an animation, it's a cartoon, and it's in the style of old times, 1920s animation. It is good. I do like this one. However, time to point out the problems, shall we? Okay, so Local 58 coming up, 9:15 a.m, a show for children. Right, so if this cartoon was made by aliens to indoctrinate our children, supposedly, why would you have it at 4:15 in the morning? Kids won't be up at that time. Are you mad? The aliens don't know what they're doing. They're stupid. And as much as I have said that I like the art style of this one, it is the wrong time period. This is like 1980s, 70s kind of TV, and it's, well, it's like 1920s. It's not the right cartoon era. If it was in colour, I could maybe understand, but, you know, it's that kind of thing. So the cartoon itself is about this skeleton creature who looks in a bunch of graves for a girlfriend or something, and he gets spooked, so he carries on and he goes to the next grave, and there's something spooky in that one too. It's an alien. Wow, subtlety. That's what we need, isn't it? Another thing is, why would he be so terrified of looking in the graves, right? You can see here, he's like, ooh, what's in the grave? He is a corpse. He probably lives in a grave, right? Thinking about this logically here, why would he be scared of the graves? His name is Cadaver, which is another word for a body. Okay, moving on. I have to say, if you look at the moon, because we know the moon is dangerous now, if you look here, you'll see the moon is, you know, kind of alive and watching, and you'll see near the end, or when it starts to shift, you can see the moon's expression change, and he kind of just stares in the background. This is good. I like that. It's subtle, and that's what this needs more of. Subtlety. It's sort of like a subtle jump scare, because when you notice it, you're like, whoa. When did that happen? And you have to look back. I've got another note here. Why is he a skeleton in the first place? I don't remember why I wrote that. I think it must have something to do with the end. So if you look at the end here, this is the big subliminal message. He lies down in a grave, he looks up at the moon, and then supposedly dies, right? Maybe what I meant is he is already a skeleton. So, you know, he went from a skeleton with clothes on to a skeleton with no clothes and kind of broken apart. I don't know if that's what I meant. Hoping that's what I meant. I'll write down in the video on text, on legacy text on Sony Vegas, if that's what I meant. Here it is. Look, this is what I meant. Aha, I'll look back. Now, this, I believe, is kind of a trailer for the second season, I think. But the problem is, there's not really enough content to have a trailer, and it does feel like more of a compilation than anything. If you look here, it's just a bunch of logos used, Local 58, and then it goes through the contingency video. Don't know what that is, that was never in it. Would have liked to see that. Cadaver, some paintings, and then this for some reason. I still don't know why that is on the TV show. Why? Don't touch that dial. More to come. We begin our broadcast day, which is Local 58's slogan, I suppose. And yeah, it feels like more of a compilation, which you could use as a trailer, but we just had something that seemed more like a trailer, which was Station ID. Can't tell what's supposed to be presenting the concept of Local 58 and which is an actual episode. And why would you have a compilation in the first place when your videos are so short and that there's so little of them? There is literally 8. And I get that they were taken really seriously and they were made with as much quality as possible and originality, but you know what I mean, guys. It's just a compilation at the end of the day. A compilation after what? 5 videos? Anyway, next up, we've got the best one. Real Sleep, which is a real good video. I have nothing to say about this one. This one is fantastic. I'm not even going to show you much of it because of how good it is. Real Sleep is my favourite by far. I'll show you kind of what it's about. So it's about a sleep helping cassette tape. It talks about a lot about dreaming, it talks about sleeping, it talks about the Kleinman map. I don't think that's real. It might be real. I might be wrong about that. the thing with this one is it feels like an actual real thing. It really does. It looks and feels and sounds exactly how a kind of these old VHS information tapes would be. And at the end of section 3, or when you get to section 3, it starts to get a bit creepy. It starts to get very creepy. I'll show a small clip. It kind of goes through these faces. And because of the way that this is done, if you look at the face, and then it cuts quickly to a white screen, you can still see the face. I love that. I love this one so much. I'm not going to show you sequence 2 or sequence 3 because they are really cool, really creepy. They are really good. Please watch this video. It is fantastic. And Real Sleep is a good example of what you want to see from this type of channel. It's the subtlety, it's the message, and the symbolism works perfectly. It's really what they were going for in the first place, but they didn't pull it off well in the first video. I still hate that one. Now, Skywatching is a little bit different, because if you look on these previous ones, there's been a lot of commentary, a lot of text on the screen, a lot of messages and symbolism, whereas this one is just looking at the stars and saying, oh look, it's Orion's belt. It goes to, oh look guys, it's Pleiades. I think that's how you say it. And then of course the moon, which is all evil. His throne. Who is him? Who is him? Who are him? Who could it be? Anyway, it goes on. It zooms in on the moon. Now you've got some really good visuals and audio for this video. It's very unnatural, and you know, it's kind of trypophobic, not gonna lie. You get these, oh, it's so weird. It's almost like a giant, oh, I don't even know how to describe it. However, again, I want to mention subtlety. There is no subtlety in this video. This is obviously alien. And then it appears out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, I kind of expected that. And that is Local 58. Overall, I still think it's a fantastic series. I know I've just mentioned all the problems with it, but I haven't really talked much about the good aspects of this series, except Real Sleep. Real Sleep is fantastic. Please watch Real Sleep, it's really good. And regardless of what I say, your opinions might be completely different. And I'm kind of nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking, to be honest, but, you know, as much as I love Local 58 TV, community television, it doesn't go without its flaws. People seem to just think, oh, this is the perfect web series. No, nothing is perfect. Look into it a bit more and you'll see what I mean. But anyway, do check out this channel and do support it, because it is still fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to see what comes next. What comes next after Skywatching? Because Skywatching is the most recent. It was only released 3 months ago, which is nice because these ones have been over a year ago, 2 years ago, in fact. So yeah, support them. I'm interested to see what direction they'll go with this now, because everybody knows what it's about. But hopefully good can come out of this, and the creators of Local 58 can think of new and mysterious ways to present their ideas on this channel. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.